We're here at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario. I'm Jim Houston. With me in the booth is Craig Simpson. Coming up, Game 3 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. Toronto can take a commanding 3-game lead with a win on home ice.
Jim, this is huge for them. Lose here and it's a brand new series. And all that momentum swings the other way.
Let's see if they can find that killer instinct. Here's a look at tonight's official. He's been around for 10 seasons, and he calls a pretty tight game.
And you can bet that if you're careless with your stick, you'll end up in the penalty box.
We're just about ready to drop the puck, so now let's get down to center ice. Face-off won by Sundin. Shove. Offside, Florida. They're getting ready for the face-off. And the face-off is won by Sundin. One-time shot by Nolan. Luongo with a great glove save. Over the line. Audette gets leveled.
This is serious.
Brings it out. In over the line. Nolan fires hard. Luongo covers up.
Now that was a big hit, folks. He just barrels right through him with a tremendous hit.
About to drop the puck. And the Panthers get the draw. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Audette gets dropped.
That one rattled his cage.
Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Checked.
Jim, that's old-time hockey.
Over the line. Intercepted by Caberlet. Brings it out. In over the line. Sent flying.
Nice hit.
Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Thrashed.
He really threw him off stride.
Toronto makes a line change. Sundin. Right in front. Weak shot. Luongo stoned him. The ref is signaling for the faceoff. Audette won the draw. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Rocked.
He's a tough guy, but that was a hard hit.
In over the line. Bumped by Trinka. In front. Luongo hangs on for the whistle. We're ready for the face-off. Face-off won by Station. Sent flying.
He got slammed into on that one. Hit. That was a tough hit.
Brings it out. Over the line. Crushed. Wrist shot. Missed the net. Quick pass up. Gets the shot off. Belfour reached out for the puck. They're getting ready for the face-off. There's a face-off win for Florida. It's passed back. He scores, and we have our first goal of the game.
Persistence, Jim. They kept whacking at the rebound until one finally went in.
Florida is off to a terrific start.
If you can get a quick goal, you know the opposition's net is open for business.
Into the attacking zone. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. A lateral pass. Brings it out. In over the line. In front. Turned aside by Luongo. Brings it out. Over the line. Klee works him over.
Nailed him.
Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Checked.
Full contact.
Brings it out. In over the line. Muscled off the puck. Passed over. Into the attacking zone. Brings it out. Delayed call against Florida. Bowled over.
No ducking that one.
Kolnick will get the gate for hooking. Toronto will try and take advantage of a penalty here.
Well, we haven't seen the power play yet tonight, but we know they're going to be a handful.
They've got great skill in that first unit. Luongo made the big glove save out of their defensive end. Over the line. Hip check. Brings it out. Passed up to the neutral zone. In the corner. Roberts. Brings it out. Coast to coast. He gets taken out by Leach. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Sundin in front. Cranked him.
What a hit!
Florida puts its #1 penalty-killing unit out. Knocked over.
Now that's physical play.
Over the blue line. One-timed by Sundin. Luongo gets a pad on it. In over the line. Cranked him.
Great hustle and a great hit.
Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Cullen bowled over.
Jim, that one had to hurt.
Brings it out. Over the line. He gets pushed by McCabe. Played up. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. He gets leveled by Bouwmeester. Luongo turned the shot aside. Toronto is 0 for 1 with the man advantage as the penalty expires. And Florida will change on the fly. He gets roughed up by McCabe. Over the blue line. He gets run over by Cullen.
He really bounced his man with that hit.
Into the attacking zone. Delayed penalty coming up for Toronto. Leach will serve time for hooking. Florida is about to go on the power play for the first time in this game.
Jim, they've got some good finishers in their lineup, but they like to keep it simple. Point shots with lots of traffic in front.
He gets checked by Bouwmeester. Over the line. McCabe shoves him. Brings it out. In over the line. Shove. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Thrashed.
He leveled his man there.
Out of their defensive end. Toronto puts its #1 penalty-killing unit out. Quick pass up. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Hit.
That was a great check.
Francis brings it out. In over the line. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Knocked down.
You can't hit much harder than that.
Brings it out. Knocked over.
That hit leveled him.
Over the blue line. Shove. Gets away a hard shot.
Shot wide, he missed the net.
Brings it out. In over the line. Cranked him.
That's what you call a big-time hit.
Into the attacking zone. Taken out.
No shortage of physical play here.
Along the boards. He gets bowled over by Roberts.
That'll give him some room.
Leach will rejoin the play. He's finished his sentence in the sin bin. Moved over, round the back. Florida has the puck and won't give it up in the attacking zone. Francis gets called for hooking. Florida will get a second chance on the power play here. The faceoff goes to Toronto. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Checked.
That's real action.
Brings it out. Over center. Into the attacking zone. Crushed.
That was a huge check.
Cullen, one-timer. Belfour shut the door. Pass back. Right in front. Cullen cranks one. Blocked. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Brings it out. In over the line. Run over.
He won't forget that one.
Cranked him.
That was a heavy hit.
Bouwmeester gives up the puck. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Shove. Huselius out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Move back. He gets laid out by McCabe. Brings it out. In over the line. He gets taken out by Ritchie. Brings it out. Over the line. Hagman now has the puck. Gaudette moves it ahead. Ritchie grabbed it. Belfour makes the pad save. Florida is now 0 for 2 on the power play. Into the attacking zone. He gets leveled by Meze.
Finds his man up and knocks him down.
Ritchie mows him down. Dumped in on the inboards by Hagman. It's played up by Johansson. Sundin over the blue line. Right in front. Luongo stones him cold. Across, out of their defensive end. In over the line. Saved by Belfour. Advances the puck. Over the line. Healy knocked him off the puck.
A big, clean hit.
Luongo turned it away. Leg save. He freezes the puck. Luongo can really handle the puck.
He gets out of his crease in a hurry and tracks down the dumpings. Now that's such a huge asset because it forces the other team to try to carry it in.
And the faceoff is won by Sundin. Into the attacking zone. He gets worked over by McCabe. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Blocked. Brings it out. In over the line. He gets rocked by Trinka. Center. Goaltender stopped at. Denied by Luongo. Stick save. Moved over the line. Rink-wide pass. Kamerla shoots the puck. Luongo denies him. Pat Quinn made an impact right away, didn't he? In his first season as head coach with the Leafs, he was named runner-up for the Jack Adams Award as Coach of the Year.
Well, Jim, under Quinn, the Leafs saw a 28-point improvement, paving the way for an appearance in the conference final.
He gets checked by Koliakovo. And time winds down as the first period comes to an end with the score 1-0.
Go online to our website and check out the top 10 with voted by you, the fans.
Jim, when two teams are this close, you'll want to start the period with jump.
Maybe some early fireworks?
Exactly. Some physical play, lots of shots, you know, something to fire up your team. He deked right past him.
Over. Out of their defensive end. He gets hit by Kolnick. Right in front. Luongo hangs on for the whistle. The ref is ready to drop the puck. A Maple Leaf face-off win. Bouwmeester hits him. Brings it out. Over the blue line. In front. Stoned by Belfour. He hangs on to the puck.
He is one of the best body checkers in the league, and you can see how he explodes through that check.
The players are lined up and ready for the faceoff. Faceoff won by Audette. Puck is dumped in on the inboards by Meze. Huselius grabbed it, takes it behind the net, shoots it! Belfour covers up for the whistle. The action's about to start. And the faceoff is won by Sundin. Out of their defensive end. In over the line.
Hit! He felt that one.
Brings it out. Over the line.
Big hit! Lots of contact there.
Brings it out. A lateral pass. Bumped off the puck. Kolnick grabbed it. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Knocked over. Backhand shot. Blocked. Sundin. In over the line. Shove. Right in front. Great save by Luongo.
Jim, there's a look at Jacques Martin.
The puck is about to be dropped. The faceoff goes to the Maple Leafs. Brings it out. Over the line. Rubbed off the puck. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Laid out. Played across. Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets out-muscled by Johansson. A shot from the slot by Berglund. Brings it out. In over the line. Sundin gets pushed. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Saved by Belfour. Brings it out. Over the line. He gets bowled over by Biron. Brings it out. Over the blue line. With a wrist shot. Great save by Belfour. He covers up.
Jim, I think he's stunned. He made a perfect shot and can't believe that the goalie stopped it.
The players are lining up at the face-off circle. The face-off goes to Florida. Huge shot by Lilia. The shot is blocked by Biron. In over the line. He gets rocked up by Lilia. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Gaudette gets shoved. Brings it out. Over the line. Shoved. Shoots the puck. Stoned cold by Luongo. In front. Turned away. Brings it out. In over the line. Fitzgerald checks him.
He really slammed into him there.
Out of their defensive end. End to end. Luongo reached out for the puck. Moved over. Brings it out. Over the blue line. A shot from the slot by Kolnick. Turned aside by Belfour. Over the line. Pushed off the puck. Stayen shoots quickly. He scores, and we're tied at 1.
A good wrist shot is hard to stop, and that was a good wrist shot.
They still have half a game to regain the lead.
But they'll be fighting momentum to do it.
Face-off won by Sundin. He gets rocked.
He lined him up and lowered the boom.
In over the line. Moved ahead. Brings it up. Into the attacking zone. Belfour got a pad on it. Out of their defensive end. Coast to coast. Sent flying. Brings it out. Over the line. Fires it. Blocked. Sundin intercepted by Spitke. Belfour with a big save. Brings it out. A lateral pass. Offside, Toronto. Belfour is a phenomenal talent. He makes saves he has no business making.
Ask any shooter in the league and they'll tell you, he's one of the toughest to beat night in and night out.
The faceoff goes to the Maple Leafs. Over the blue line. Into the attacking zone. Stayen gets hit.
He's taken out of the play.
Out of their defensive end. It's stolen by Leach. Florida touches up for icing. So much of this game is about confidence.
Well, that's just it. Once a guy's found the scoreboard, he's always hungry for more.
Defenders should be keeping tabs on this guy. They're getting ready for the faceoff. faceoff is won by Sundin. In over the line. He gets run over by Lilia. Rink-wide pass. Over the line. He gets hit by Kolyakovo.
He stamped that one.
Brings it out. Pushed. Right in front. Biron went long. Luongo turned it away. Given away by Audette. Turned aside by Luongo. Into the attacking zone. Slap shot by Lilia. Belfort turns it away. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Crushed. Quick puck movement. Brings it out. In over the line. Right in front. Brings it out. End to end. Antropov took the puck. Now, you talk about great defensemen in this league, and this guy really makes it all happen at the back end.
Jim, he's like a catalyst out there, consistently feeding forwards with breakout passes. And hey, I say he wouldn't hesitate to jump up in the rush.
There's a face-off win for Florida. Passed over by Husilius. Over the line. Shoved. Nolan. Passed up to the neutral zone. Kaberle has been nailed for hooking. Florida will go on the power play once again. They weren't able to capitalize on their first power play. Let's see if they can do it here. Face-off won by Francis. Now the goaltender comes out to play the puck. Luongo went long. Into the attacking zone. He gets leveled by McCabe. Klee moved ahead. He gets laid out by Francis. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Wrist shot. Saved by Luongo. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Hit. In front. Scores on the power play.
Oh my! Now let's check that one again on replay, Jim. He definitely planned to put that one in the net with the wrister. Pure skill right there.
With time winding down in the second, they pull off a goal and take the lead.
That'll set the stage for some dramatic action in the third.
Into the attacking zone. Right in front. Belfort hangs on for the whistle. About to drop the puck. The faceoff goes to the Panthers. He gets hit by Sundin.
He got his man on that hit.
Over the line. Pushed. In front. Luongo made the huge save. Florida has picked this defense apart tonight.
They've used crisp, quick passes to exploit holes in coverage. Made the most of their chances. That's been the difference offensively.
And the faceoff is won by Sundin. He gets bowled over by Nieuwendyk. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Checked.
Stopped him dead in his tracks.
Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Shoved. Hit. Luongo covers up. We're ready for the face-off. Toronto wins the face-off. Right in front. In front. Luongo makes the save. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Neterost rifles a shot. Belfort turns the shot aside. The horn signals the end of the second. 2-1 the score as we head for the intermission. It's time for the third period.
Jim looked for some big hits as both teams try to shake things up.
They're getting ready for the face-off. Audette Wins the faceoff. Played back. Over the line. Flattened. Turned over. Backhanded shot from the slot. Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets shoved by Bouwmeester. Played across. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. He scores to make it 3-1.
He went to the backhand on that shot and fooled the netminder completely. That's one sweet goal.
Toronto is being tested early in the third.
It's not good. Unless we see some better play, they're risking a blowout.
Up along the boards. He gets roughed up by Bouwmeester. Brings it up. Over the blue line. With a wrist shot. Belfort made the save. Brings it out. In over the line. Sundin. Luongo denies him. Kolnick out of their defensive end. Florida makes a line change. Moved across. Brings it up. Over the line. He gets rocked by Trinka. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Hit right in front. Belfort freezes the puck. Sometimes a coach likes to change the game and influence his bench with a little argument with the referee. And you can see the reason for his argument. The ref is ready to drop the puck. Nederost won the draw. Koliakovo drops him. Advances the puck. Into the attacking zone. A lateral pass. Sent flying. Shoots it hard. Nieuwendyk goes wide. Luongo covers up for the whistle. Biron is really counted on in critical situations.
Whenever his coaches need someone to step up and deliver in the late stages of a game, they look to this guy. They know he can get it done.
The faceoff goes to Toronto. Centering pass by Stachin. In front. Luongo made the brilliant save. He hangs on.
Jim, he cannot believe his eyes. He had that one already up on the scoreboard, only to find the goalie to make a great save.
The players are lined up and ready for the faceoff. And the Panthers get the draw. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Shove. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Shove. Right in front. Luongo hangs on for the whistle. The ref is signaling for the faceoff. A Maple Leaf faceoff win. In front. Luongo made the huge save. Brings it out. Over the line. Shove. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. He gets taken out by Lilia. Passed ahead. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Rocked. In behind. Over the line. He gets hit by Biron.
Stopped him cold.
Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. In the corner. Right in front. Play ends as the puck is shot into the crowd. The action's about to start. Toronto wins the draw. Nieuwendyk grabbed it. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. In front. Door slammed shut by Luongo. Nolan cannonading drive. The puck is shot out of play. The puck is about to be dropped. The faceoff goes to the Maple Leafs. Nice move there by Sundin. Leveled.
That was an intimidating blow.
Brings it out. In over the line. Audette corrals the puck. Thrashed.
That was a hard check.
Into the attacking zone. Checked. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Shoved. Brings it out. Over the line. Slap shot whipped by Johansson. Turned aside. Luongo freezes the puck. How do you like this guy's shooting percentage?
That's not bad. One shot, one goal.
Let's see if he can go 2 for 2.
Why not?
The players are lining up at the faceoff circle. The faceoff goes to Toronto. Trinka steals the puck. Wrist shot. Luongo reached out for the puck. In over the line. He gets hit by Nieuwendyk. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Muscled off the puck. Kolnick grabbed it. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Shoots it quickly. Saved by Belfour. Mowed down. Quick pass up. Brings it out. In over the line. He gets run over by Spidkey. Crushed. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Laid out.
That'll rattle your teeth.
Over the line. He gets bowled over by Trinka. Moved over. Over the blue line. Palms gets the shot off. Turned aside by Belfour. And Florida will change on the fly. Mad scramble. Passed across. Out of their defensive end. The goalie's out of his net to play the puck. Advances the puck. In over the line. Audette gets leveled.
That rattled him pretty well.
Into the attacking zone. In the corner. Oh, he hit the post. Toronto makes a line change. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Knocked him off the puck. Brings it out. In over the line. One times leg save. Passed over. Out of their defensive end. He gets checked by Sundin. Over the line. Wrist shot from the right. Luongo reached out for the puck. Into the attacking zone. Turned aside. Berglund brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets leveled by Leach.
Great hustle.
Brings it out. In over the line. He gets worked over by Lilia. Leach, hard shot, great save by Luongo. Played over, out of their defensive end. Florida puts its second line out. In front, Belfour makes the big glove save. Florida is playing a very disciplined game tonight.
Yeah, they're staying out of the box, and that's a key. You don't always give up goals on the penalty kill, but it takes a lot out of you.
The faceoff goes to the Maple Leafs. A lateral pass. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Right in front. Goaltender stopped that. Short pass. Weak shot. Luongo covers up. The Panthers are a great penalty-killing team.
And I'll tell you why, Jim. They're always in great position. You can't break down their box. They're extremely disciplined, and they keep everything to the outside.
Face-off won by Sundin. Pass back. Cranks it. Scores!
He let loose an absolute howitzer on that one-time blast. I bet the goalie didn't even see it go by.
With time running down in the third, their lead's been pared back to 1.
And that blows away their margin for error. Any slip now, and it's a brand new game.
Big hit! He took a big hit there. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Shove. A delayed penalty call against Toronto. Clean will serve time for roughing.
2 minutes may not seem very long, but trust me, when you're the one in the box, it feels like an eternity.
You can see that coach isn't too happy about the call. Florida has the one power play goal so far, and now they'll get another shot here. Face-off won by Francis. Over, out of their defensive end. Over the line. Thrashed. In behind. Brings it out. In over the line. It's played back by Husilius. He gets roughed up by Cullen. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Francis! Blocked by Van Ryn. It's stolen by Caberlet. McCabe grabbed it. Over the blue line. Empty netter! Nothing risked, nothing gained, I guess.
Well, they had to take a chance by pulling the goalie late, and that empty netter sealed the deal in this one.
Toronto has to come up with something huge.
And in a hurry, too.
And the faceoff is won by Sundin. Quick puck movement. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Rubbed off the puck. Rings it out. In over the line. Laid out. Passed across. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Flattened. Played up. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line.
A little intimidation there.
Brings it out. Over the line. And that's the end. Florida has won it and now trails by just one game. From Toronto, Ontario, I'm Jim Hewson.
And I'm Craig Simpson. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.